Welcome to another episode of the Traveling Hoopers podcast. I am your host, Alan Pettigrew. I'm going to go ahead and let these two guys introduce themselves.
Um, Welcome to the new year. I'm Calvin McGowan here doing what?
Welcome to the new year. I'm Philip Dixon, aka Happy New Year.
Yeah.
That's a good one, right? No,
That might be the worst one yet.
listen, it was. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It was. Because I almost said aka Nat Turner, but I want to sure if that was disrespectful or not.
I don't see the disrespect in. I don't even want to know.
Like, I wasn't sure if it's disrespectful for me to refer to myself as him. Is that disrespectful to him? like that's how little I think of myself. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Oh, this one left.
Right? See, we do the lead-ins before the intro now. I mean, after the intro. We're special. But first topic of the day is Steph Curry and his 62 points. And I don't want to knock Steph for having like this career high, because it is crazy. Not too many players get to 60 points, let alone 62. He was shooting phenomenally. He's averaging 32 points for the season. Like he's doing everything he can to make sure the Warriors are at least putting some product on the court that is valuable for anybody who would like to watch NBA basketball. That is what he's doing. He's doing it extremely well. But he did that against the Blazers, and I refuse to be happy or excited that you got 62 on the Blazers. I don't think that won't be the last time a superstar or anybody puts up crazy numbers against the Blazers, especially if they're a perimeter player. They don't got nobody that can stop them. I get it, Dame and CJ are better defensively than they were 3 or 4 years ago, but they're still kind of awful. There's a lot of physical freaks or just extremely talented guards at those two guys' positions that on a nightly basis somebody's gonna give you 30. And they don't have anybody else that can really slow them a perimeter player down. So Steph 62 is really amazing, but I can't get over seeing how bad this group of guys are, especially on the perimeter, that it really makes me hard to be extremely happy for these 62 points. Because at some point, I know he just kind of has some some ridiculous shots where he's pulling off some crazy. He's pulling off something crazy just because he can. Yes, he is Curry, but the Blazers are really bad, and they don't have a single person that can guard them. What I was thinking about earlier. They cashed in on Gary Trent Jr. making a leap and being their third guy. They really had to at this point, because there's no signings that they did where you can justify that they wanted to get better.
Is this just transition from Steph Curry tape to a bashing Blazers tape pretty quickly?
Oh, it's the
Oh,
same.
this was both. This was
thing.
both.
I feel like you can't celebrate Curry 62, but when you look at it, in the context, it's of course somebody was gonna spank them this year.
Inevitably, yeah, but not that many people have went off like that against the Blazers guard wise. Have truly gone off. I mean, not 30, whatever. I mean 62 gone off to the Blazers. CJ and Dame have been together for 5-6 years now, something like that, and no one's really gone off like that against them up until this point. But with Steph Curry going off as he did, it did remind me of why I disliked Steph Curry so much. It really like it brought up. Well, I thought I was having deja vu. You know what I mean? I was like, this feels. I feel like I've been here before, and I have. Whenever Steph Curry gets hot, he starts doing airplanes down the court, and he starts shimmying down the court, and I'm like, that's why I hate you. That's why I dislike you so much, because when people go off, like when LeBron goes off, LeBron just mean mugging. LeBron might hit his chest, and that's LeBron. Kobe went off. Kobe over here just mean mugging, just stoic. Dame go off. Dame over here just waving goodbye to people. You know what I mean? Steph Curry go off, and it's just ugh. Like I truly think I just don't like his swag. Like, first of all, never mind. I'm not gonna con this man like this. I was ready, but I really think at the end of the day, I just don't like the way. I don't like his swag. It's like on the court and how he like carries himself on the court. Like, yeah, he carries himself fine, but like I like people who like he's a little too goofy for me. To be really honest, like, and that's all personal. That's all personal. Like, he's a little too goofy for me. But you can't discredit anyone from scoring 62 points, no matter. They're in the NBA. Like, no matter what, you can't discredit no one from scoring 62 points. At the end of the day, the ball had to go through the hoop. I just hate the fact that when his ball goes through the hoop, he's sliding on the ground. He's doing airplanes on the court. No. Act like you've been there before. You've been there before. You've been close to there before. But act like you've been there before. And he was just like, nah. They point wide down his back. He's screaming, ah! Like, what's going on now? Like, I don't know. Like, have fun. But my God, you seem like me.
I really appreciate that the first 7 minutes of this is just unnecessary Curry slander. It's nothing against you, bro.
Like, Steph Curry,
except
no, you're not sugarcoating that. Yeah, it's not against you. Steph Curry ruined the game of basketball. Because I coached today, middle school, and this is a day after Steph Curry went off, and once again, this is a reminder of why I hated Steph Curry. It's because kids that I'm coaching are taking ill-advised threes in transition, and ill-advised threes in the wrong aspects of the game because they watched Steph Curry do it the day before. And it's like, that's just bad basketball, and it's hard for people to realize, kids, high schoolers, college kids. It's hard to realize, or it's hard for people to realize that they're just not Steph Curry, and Steph Curry can only shoot the balls he does because he is Steph Curry. But like, not everybody else can do that. But everybody else thinks they can do that. So all of a sudden, everybody else starts playing bad basketball because those are bad basketball shots unless you're Steph Curry. But that translates. You see it all the time. Alan, you watch playing high school basketball. I know you see it. It's just bad basketball. Unless you're Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, you should not be shooting a three on the fast break. Like that's not a good That's not a good basketball shot. If obviously it depends on the situation, but more times than not, for sure, you should be shooting a layup over a three on a fast break. Like, more times than not, for sure. And Steph Curry made people be like, no. If the ball is in the paint, pass that thing back out for a three, always. And it's like, no, it's not good. That's not genuine. That's not generally good basketball. And that's why, like, in 2014, 15, 16, when Steph Curry was, before Kevin Durant, when Steph Curry was getting all the praise, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, I just saw the way his game translated to the rest of the world, like to the everyday people, and I was just like, nah, this ain't achieved. And his one game where he went off on a bad team, let's get this right, a bad team, his one game, because Curry will break down, because this is still early this season, the one game he went off early in the season, I'm already seeing it again, and I'm just like, oh, this is the downfall of basketball again. Like, this is the downfall of basketball IQ.
Bring back the athletic guards. I don't want nobody else that can shoot in his in his upcoming draft. Give me all the Jalen Suggs. Oh, don't give me nobody else. Philip, what you got?
What do you mean? What I got?
You want to talk about the Suns or something?
Oh, I don't even know what you said, Calvin. Okay, so I'm surprised the Zion Williamson's hype train is already departed. And it's not there anymore. Even though he's like very good. Like and I think very good is like an understatement, honestly, for this guy. Like he's really, really good. But for some reason, I have theories, but for some reason, the hype that he had last year is already gone and transitioned to, LaMelo Ball or whatever. And it just surprises me that it's already gone. I mean, even the Pelicans, small market, the media is always trying to find the newest, best story. So no one's story can last that long, I guess, in terms of like longevity, really, unless you're LeBron. But even LeBron started on 2003 before all this, 24/7 news cycle of sports media was around. So he had a chance to develop what he was, and they both before, this atmosphere became what it is today. But I just assumed Zion would happen in a couple years, but like it hasn't. Even on plays that he did last year that would be like blowing up on House of Highlights or ESPN, he's doing the same plays this year, and nothing's being shown because people are too focused on, or the media is focusing us on other things. And so it just surprises me that that train's already departed from the station in the aspect of the Zion hype.
Yeah. No, that's actually really surprising considering he's averaging like 20 and 10. Oh, like a really good team.
A second-year player averaging 20 and 10.
Yeah, let me see.
Like,
And the Pelicans are 4 and 2. Like
they're not bad either. You know what I mean? They lost to a really good Suns team, and they lost to who did they play Christmas Day? Who did they play Christmas Day?
Let me see. Let me look that up real quick.
I can't remember who they played Christmas Day, but they lost Christmas Day.
They played the
Heat. The Heat. They lost to the Heat, and they lost to a good Heat team, and they lost to a good that's a good Heat team, and they lost to a good Suns team. And for some reason, they're just like not talked about. It's very strange to me.
So I think it's like one, like kind of like you said, like the thing with the media and whatever is like you're always kind of looking for the next shiny new thing, right? And like in that respect, like the dude who's supposed to be next up when he gets to the league is inherently more exciting than the dude who's supposed to be next up who's currently in the league. That is the dude who's gonna get nitpicked to hell and back because like he's there and like why hasn't they won anything, even if they've only been there for like 3 years, hypothetically, right? But also like you said, Zion's in the Pelicans who don't get covered like that, and like one of the things, and like the thing about Zion for me is like some of the things that make him as good as he is are really easy to forget if like you're not paying attention to him. Like Curry, like you're always gonna, even not paying attention to him, like shooting is easy to, like the fact that you can knock down shots from anywhere is easy to pick up on. The fact that like you have some of the best dunks in the league, a la like young Blake Griffin, is easy to remember even when no one's paying attention to you. One of the things that makes Zion as good as he is, he's just got otherworldly body control. Like part of why the defender doesn't matter to him is that like he will just like adjust his body around you, right? And like that is something that is that is something that is easy to forget if like you're not watching him regularly. Like you'll remember it as soon as you see him play for like 5 minutes, but the minute he's out of your sight, you're just like, he dunks, I guess, right? But yeah, I think it's just like he's in the league now. He's not the new thing, even if he is like amazing. Like he's not the exciting new thing anymore. We have to find some new exciting new thing because like he's already here.
Yeah, and that's not good. Our attention spans are too short because we should be focusing on the best players, not the most exciting players, whatever it is. But if we did that, we also wouldn't pay too much attention to Kyrie. So
I said we'll pay attention more to Zion when he can shoot.
listen, this Pelicans team is gonna make the playoffs, and then he's gonna force you to pay attention. I'm gonna lie to you, because speaking of playoff teams, let me just say this. Speaking of playoff teams, that Phoenix Suns team, nice. But I will say this. Chris Paul, obviously, good pickup. Ayton stepping his game up big time. He just needed more time to be on the court after that ridiculous suspension he had. Not being ridiculous because he had a suspension, but the reasons of the suspension being like performance-enhancing drugs or whatever it was that he got suspended for. But now
Wasn't that Ayton?
Or Ayton, my bad. Now he's on the court. He's looking really, really good. He had like 20 and 10 against the Clippers the other day. But Devin Booker we all know that he can score, but since he plays for the Phoenix Suns, we had never watched him that much. Because who wants to watch them? Mm-hmm. But I would argue he has the best footwork in the NBA. Like, I was watching some of the shots he was able to get off against the Clippers. If he had even average footwork, he's not getting these shots off. But like, it was like watching somebody just do a drill, but like in a game. Like it was nuts to watch. And I don't think he gets every time somebody thinks of footwork, they're always talking about, the big men, right? Joel Embiid, or talking about whatever, some kind of big man they're all talking about when it comes to, fantastic footwork. But Devin Booker, easily top 2, 3 footwork in the NBA. And Jason Tatum might be up there too, but Devin Booker's footwork makes Jason Tatum's footwork look basic. It was pretty incredible what I was seeing, but once again, I'm just now seeing this because when I do have NBA League Pass, yes, but I didn't get that for the Suns. You know what I mean? I definitely not. But watching them now with a little more eyes on them, watching, I remember when Devin Booker scored that 70 points or it was, and I was like, that's just cheap 70. They're just not even trying to play basketball. They're just passing the ball the whole entire time. You know what I mean? But watching him now individually on a Chris Paul team, it's just like, my God, that's ridiculous. Also, Chris Paul is going to go down as like the Charles Barkley of this generation.
Are you talking about as far as a superstar that doesn't win, but everybody loves him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's more socially aware than Charles Barkley was. So he has like a different kind of legacy off the court, but on the court in terms of just basketball play, he's going to be considered the Charles Barkley of this generation. It might even be less because he's never won an MVP or taken his team to the finals. so he's done less in the NBA than what Charles Barkley has done, which is kind of nuts to say.
I think getting that close to the all-time great point guard level, though, I think that'd be enough to hopefully wipe the not having an MVP and not getting out of the second round.
No, because he's had teams that he should have won championships with. Yeah, you're right. Generally speaking, that would be the case. If he, the numbers would add up that would be the case. But with Paul, he's had 2 or 3 chances. A couple in the Clipperland, a couple in Clipperland, once with the Rockets, and then we had a really good team with David West and Tyson Chandler when he was in New Orleans. He had a really good team in New Orleans. Was that the Katrina year? It might have been the Katrina year.
Oh, when they were in OKC?
Yeah. No, what?
Yeah, if it was the Katrina year, they were in OKC that year.
that year, it might have been that year or the year afterwards, they had a really, really, really good team. He's had a couple times when he could at least gone to the finals, and he just never has. You can go into reasons why he has it. The body breaking down, and he's not a 40 minutes a game player because he plays like LeBron but doesn't have the body of LeBron. You can say all these different things, but at the end of the day, he's had really, 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 really good teams, and he's never achieved what these teams, well, he never achieved what he could have with these teams.
Fairness to him, though, right? And like, maybe it's just, but like, was he ever were any of his teams ever the favorite to make it out of the West? Like,
hold on. Clippers, yes.
No.
That one crazy. Because the Spurs, was it the Spurs year? It was the one where they got beat by the Spurs. They got beat by the Spurs in 7 games, but it was because and Chris Paul had a game winner, one of the games, off of a really close to the basket. Like that year, they were the best. They were up there as the best team in the NBA. Like they were people picked them to come out of the West, but through injuries and through whatever, you know what I mean? Unfortunate circumstances, they didn't cut the West. Now, was Chris Paul on the Rockets when that Game 7 against the Warriors, they just missed every single 3?
Yeah, but he pulled a hamstring in Game 6.
I know. It's very unfortunate. Very unfortunate that happens. But for some reason, Chris Paul just happens when he has the opportunity and the chance to make it to the finals and legitimate chances. For some reason, those years, hammy pop, sprained ankle, his knee, or something goes awry, and it just doesn't happen for him. And we know this, but in 20, 30 years, we're going to be looking at, our kids being no, I'm telling you, Chris Paul, he was but Dad, he ain't got no rings. It's going to be the exact same argument we have with certain people of the past. It's so unfortunate, but it's just reality.
I'm going to raise my kid right where they're not going to ask me about no damn rings.
Rings do matter. Let's not act like rings don't matter at all.
They might matter for your greatness, but to tell you how good you are, you don't need that. We can sit you in front of some highlights of Charles Barkley to show you he was a dude. It just looks good to have rings. That's
it's different though.
I don't like the
That's
bows.
different though.
I don't like the bows.
So what was it?
There's a lot of dudes that got rings that don't need rings.
Yeah,
there's a lot of dudes that got rings that shouldn't have rings.
Yeah, but okay, listen, we're never gonna be talking about Derek Fisher in these conversations though. You know what I mean? Derek Fisher got mad rings, but Robert Horry got mad rings. But we're not gonna be talking about Matt. We're not gonna talk about Matt or Robert Horry was Robert Horry, Derek Fisher. They were quintessential to the team of making it to. No. We're talking about Kobe. We're talking about LeBron. We're talking about Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? We're talking about these guys. We're talking about the Scottie Pippins. We're talking about these guys. If the rings do matter to an extent though. They don't matter as much as people make them out to matter, right? Because it's more of a team sport and blah, blah, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, they do matter a little bit though, because the point of the game is to win. No matter what, the point of the game is to win. You can be mad at LeBron for not winning every time into the finals, but LeBron got to the finals a lot, especially in a row. And you can't that adds on to his greatness automatically. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if somebody doesn't dethrone LeBron or whatever it is, then that takes away from the legacy. Just like if people couldn't dethrone Michael Jordan, it takes away from the legacy also.
Well, okay, so I guess this is relevant since we brought up rings. This was something I read years ago. Because we talk about nowadays, people talk about people ring chasing and stuff. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure the players are aware of how their legacy is looked at and how important it is for your legacy to get a ring, right, wrong, or indifferent. And what's the I can't remember the scientific term I'm looking for. Basically, how like when somebody knows the criteria by which they're being judged, they change their behavior to better meet that criteria. So when you have players, especially players high level, aware that like they are being judged on rings, we're going to get the stuff like we've seen last couple of years, like super teams and like KD going to Golden State and stuff. And like, while I guess we can all agree that like rings aren't the only thing, there are plenty of people who will like disagree, despite clearly kind of being a dumb thing, even if we can be like, yeah, it matters to the legacy. That like, there is an argument that we or at least like people who pay attention to basketball make it matter more than it should, especially like if you care about like players do like trying to like get a ring the right way, however you want to define that.
Yeah. All garbage to me.
Like, let's not pretend like when KD retires, we'll be talking about how like his Golden State rings don't count for real.
Yeah, 100%. Like,
and we'll take the mic away from you
but
people on KD's day.
Granted, they count. Like, they count. Obviously, he won.
They don't count as much as like Jordan's rings do, or
because
like
they don't.
Magic's
But like for
rings
me,
do.
they don't count because he took a whole way into it. Like it's simple. You took a team to seven games in the playoffs, the Western Conference Finals. You took a team to 7 games, and then the next year you go and join the other team that beat you. That's if you are on the sideline in the rec center and somebody's been beating you all day long, all of a sudden one guy on the team leaves and they go, hey, come on our team. And me personally, I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that because I'm not yo ho. Like, I mean, you've been dogging me all day long. I'm not gonna all of a sudden go to the old team and be like, all right, I'm on the winning thing now. That's what KD did, and so that's all personal for me of why it's like a competitive nature thing essentially, and I'm just like, nah, man. You know what I mean? I'm just like that ain't it. And his rings exist, they count. But everybody wants to find an asterisk every year now for a ring. Like they wanted to put an asterisk on LeBron's ring, whatever, this year, right? Even though like it's hard, it was arguably harder this year than it would be otherwise. But they're gonna people are gonna want to put an asterisk on the ring, and he does. But at the end of the day, he did get those rings, and when he's out, if he's out, they wouldn't got those rings. But also, if he's out, the team wouldn't have been looking the same. It would have been more angled around Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, not around KD. So, like, you can also make that argument, too. You know what I mean? And when you angle a team around Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, you make it to the championships 3 times. You know what I mean? Like, you still make it to the championship 2 or 3 times. Like, it is what it is. But I just think, like, Kevin Durant, his rings are just weird to me. Like, I don't, like, I'm a historian, but I just think there's no situation in basketball of somebody who got rings like him, like in the way he got rings, especially being like and it's different because he's the greatest scorer that we've seen. Like,
yeah,
I wasn't watching when Michael Jordan was playing, you know what I mean? Like, but he's the greatest scorer we've seen. So for a great to do something like that, I'm just like, you were great, dog. like. Act like it, you know what I mean? And he didn't, but he still got rings. Ho, I'm upset.
Greatest hater.
I'm so upset right now.
I completely agree with everything you said, though. But yeah,
no, I'm sorry. Like, that really frustrated me just now. And now I was trying to explain to my kids today why Kevin Durant is a hoe. Like, I was like, the kids are like in this 8th and 7th grade. So like I started watching basketball in like the 7th, 8th grade. So like I know for a fact they weren't watching basketball or really remembering basketball at least when they were 4th grade or whatever it is, 5th, 4th grade. And so I'm just like, man, KD, man, he got them rings. I'm like, no. Let's talk about these rings real quick. I had to set them all down on their basketballs and had a real deep discussion about this today. So like, this is really hitting me close to my heart. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm trying to teach the next generation what being a hoe is all about. KD.
Hey, don't ruin them. Don't ruin Kevin Durant for them babies, bro.
I ain't ruining them.
I happily would. I'm not even gonna pretend.
Kyle was like, he ain't gonna front. He gonna ruin. Like, listen, if your legacy, if you don't want your legacy to be ruined by the general population, then don't do hoish things. Like, just don't do it. If you don't do it, then I got nothing to complain about. Like, and let's not get twisted. Too many people and I've talked to people about this. Too many people remember it as Russell Westbrook screwed up that Game 7 against Golden State. Kevin Durant missed a lot of shots. Like Kevin Durant did not play. He played good, but there was opportune things that happened, opportune situations that happened in that game that Kevin Durant really messed up on, and people disregard that because people love to hate on Russell Westbrook, especially now since leaving. But a lot of people do have like revisionist history about that Game 7. So the way you lead or you don't essentially show up in clutch times against Golden State that game, all of a sudden you go to their team like that. That makes my skin crawl. That is the most. It makes me upset that somebody made an NBA with that kind of competitive mindset. Like, the only way you make it to the NBA with that competitive mindset is you're 6'10", move like you're 5'10", and you shoot like you're 6 foot. Like that's the only way you make it there. And it bothers me that this soft hoe who got burner accounts. I mean, we ain't talking about that. I know we ain't discussing the burner accounts, but he got burner accounts. Made it that far, man. And I loved Kevin Durant too. I loved Kevin Durant. He was OKC, but since then he just been. Might as well call him Charmin because he's soft.
I'm disappointed in you, bro.
I'm sick, bro. I'm so sick right now. Like,
I feel like this is a good stopping point, bro.
I'm sorry.
This is gonna be a quick one because ain't no basketball happened last week as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, it didn't do much. What's some other stuff real quick? I remember I predicted that Morant would win the scoring title. Let's say probably 30 minutes later, he rolls his ankle contesting a shot and he's out for 6 weeks. We talked about the Suns are good.
Top defense in the league, surprisingly. That is not something I expected from them.
All the March Madness stuff is going to be happening in Indianapolis this year. Villanova has stopped their basketball stuff for the second or third time this season because of COVID. Let's see, I feel like I'm missing something. But it was a slow week in basketball for us.
Yeah. But I think that's a good closer. Thank you guys for tuning in to another episode.
Kevin is a hoe.
Thank you for tuning in for another episode. I am your host, Alan Pettigrew. The man in the blue shirt. It's my boy Calvin McGowan, the man in the black shirt. It's my boy Philip Dixon.
Hope you enjoyed the KD hate episode.
Yeah, KD was the title of this podcast.
Surprisingly, I didn't see this coming, yeah.
I didn't either. But I call it spade a spade.
Well, thanks for tuning in. See you next week.